Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week has been town, and we have been doing many things about the town. But before we get into this lesson for today, it's very important to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer. Remember, when you're sanitizing, and not just when you're sanitizing, when you're washing your hands, make sure that you cover your entire hands and that every part is sanitized. I want you to dry them very good and to check your social distancing as well as in front of you. Well done. For this lesson, we're going to be talking about similarities and patterns. For our first exercise, please can you turn to page 15. On page 15, you're being asked to draw a circle around the picture that matches the first one. Now you can see that there is a man with a flag and he's got them at different positions. Your job is to find the flag that matches, or the man with the flag that matches the picture on the other side. I have my flag here and I'm going to help you with this picture. So the first one that we can see, the man is holding the flag on this side and it is straight and his hand is down. I want you to take a look at your picture. Which one can you see that looks like me? Yes, that's correct. I would like you to please circle that man. The next one has the flag a little lower than the other man. Let me move a little. There we go. And the flag is a little low. Which man has a low flag? Wonderful. I want you to circle that one as well. The last one has a man with the flag and his hand is up like this. Which picture has a man that looks like that? Very good. I'm sure you did this one and I'm sure it was very easy. And I would like you to just double check with the picture as well. Let's move on to the next exercise. For our next exercise on page 16, we can see that there are different people doing different things. It is our job to make sure we match the objects. Now remember, when people are in town, they have different jobs to do. Even when you go to town, the jobs that are done by different people are not the same with everybody else. The first picture, you can see that there is a woman standing behind a counter. We see these kind of people when we go to a shop. For example, ShopRite or Checkers or Spar. And they're there to help us buy the things that are in the shop. Normally when we get into a shop, we need something to help carry our items in. So which picture on the other side is going to help us carry our things to this woman? Well done! It is the trolley that is down below there. I'd like you to please take your color or your pencil, and I'd like you to draw a line from the dot for the woman who's behind the counter to the dot for the trolley. Well done. The next picture we can see is a very happy woman, and I think she's holding some donuts. If it's not donuts, maybe there are some buns. Now, this person probably works at a bakery, and a bakery in town has all sorts of delicious things like chocolate donuts, like raisin-covered cinnamon buns, and maybe even cake. So, which picture helps us to know that this woman works with what? Well done, my children. It is the cake and the pies. I'd like you to please take your color or your pencil and connect the two dots for the woman who's at the bakery and the delicious cake. The last one is very simple and obvious. In towns, there are always people who are building or constructing things, and they need lots of tools to make sure that the buildings or whatever they are constructing is done properly. We can see that there is an item there at the bottom that is called a saw. Now, which picture will show the person holding a saw? That is right, my children. You can actually see that there is a builder there holding a saw in his hand, amongst other things as well. So I would like you to please connect the dots. Once you are done with that, I would like you to also color the pictures and color them beautifully, please, as all these things we can find in town. Next time you're in town, I want you to also look at the people who are there. The person behind the counter, the baker who has the tray, and the builder who's helping to build the buildings. I hope you have fun coloring this, and make sure that you take your time and color in the lines. Did you finish your work for the last exercise? Well, I hope you did. But let's take a look at the next exercise. Here on page 17, we can see that we have a pattern. And the pattern is flower, tree, boy with the star. Let's say it together. Flower, tree, boy with a star. Let's say it one more time. Flower, tree, boy with a star. Your job, my dear children, is to make sure that you put the pattern by coloring the pattern when it comes. For example, let's do the first one. We can see that there is flower, tree, boy with a star, car, stop. Now, in our first pattern, the one in the box, there was no car and there was no stop. So that means we color the first three pictures. We have flower, tree, boy with a star. The next one, you can see that it is car, stop, flower, tree, boy with a star. I know that you are clever, so I'm not going to help you too much with this one. Make sure that if you get confused, you take a look at the box with our pattern. And remember, our pattern is flower, tree, boy with a star. Let's move on to the next exercise. For our next exercise on page 18, we can see that there are some signs that we can sometimes find all around town. The next time that you are in town, my children, I want you to take a look at these signs. For today, our job is simple. We should just match the sign to each other. Every sign has a couple, so you're going to draw the line to connect the couple or the pairs. The first one is very easy because we talked about it before. It is the stop sign. You can see that it starts with the letter S. And I want you to please draw a line to connect the first stop sign you see to the second stop sign that you see. And then I want you to take a look and carefully draw lines to the other signs so that you can connect them. And once you're done with that, you will be able to realize that these signs are everywhere in the roads, in the towns as well. Have fun and enjoy yourselves. I hope you really enjoyed that exercise. I know I did when I tried it. But it's time for another one. Let's turn to page 19. On page 19, you can see that we are going to be using our finger to trace without lifting our hand. The first picture we can see is of a car. And that car, has no fuel. So it needs to get to the fuel station. You're going to help the car find its way to the fuel station using your finger. So you are going to start on the dot, and I want you to trace with your finger. Let's go together. We're going down, and then we have to turn, and then we turn up. Very good. And we're going down in a straight line, down the street. We're turning down again. Very good. And across, and then up, and there we go. We have managed to reach the fuel station just in time. I want you to please do that with your pencil. Remember to follow the trace line. It is very important to make sure that the line is straight. You know that in town, cars drive straight. They don't drive going from one side to another unless they are turning. Let's try another one. Here we have a boy, and he's holding a book, and he needs to get to school. So let us take our finger again, and we're going to help this boy get to school. So we start on the dot, and we go up the road, then we turn, and we go down the road, and we go in a straight line right across. We go up the road again, and we turn down, and he's at school now. Well done. I hope he didn't miss any lessons at all. And remember, the reason why we're not coming to school is so that we can be safe from COVID-19. Let's try the last one together. The last one has a dot that's leading from one restaurant to the post office. Perhaps they would like to send a letter. And that one you're going to do by yourselves. Remember, you can color the pictures once you are done. Let's go to the next exercise. For our next exercise, we have a puppy. Oh, it is so cute. But seems like we have a fire, and we need to help the puppy get to the fire using the maze. So you're going to follow the road so that you can put out the fire. I'd first like you to try with your finger. You are going to try every single road. And to make it fun for you, my dear children, you can make a sound for the siren for the truck. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it for this one. But if you are able to do it, once you get down to the fire, you can see that there is an arrow there at the bottom where the fire is happening. You need to make sure that you get to that arrow. So you start from the top and you go wee-oo, 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 trying to find your way to the burning fire. And once you are done, you can actually use your pencil to get to the same fire there. Then, when you are done, you can also color this picture as well. Make sure you help the fire puppy to take out the fire. I hope you're going to have fun with this. Remember to use your eyes carefully, and if the road is blocked, I want you to try and use other roads that are open for the fire truck to use for the puppy to take out the fire. This has been a wonderful lesson, my dear children, and I hope that you'll be able to complete all the exercises by yourselves. Now remember, it is very important for us to sanitize. If you don't have a sanitizer at home, you can use soap and water, and you wash your hands for seconds. That means counting up to the number 20. Remember to dry your hands before you touch anything else, as well as to check your social distancing beside you and in front of you. Well done. I wonder, where is our friend today? Oh, there she is. Hello, Zoe. So, from Zoe and I, we would like to say goodbye.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up, take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week has been town. And before we get into this lesson, we need to sanitize our hands. Now remember, if you don't have a sanitizer, you can wash your hands for 20 seconds or more by counting up to the number 20. Remember to dry your hands and to check your social distancing as well, in front and beside you. Good job. Our lesson today is about handwriting and coloring. For our first exercise today, before we get to the exercise, I want you to open your ears and listen to something and tell me what you hear. That's right. You could hear something coming, and I don't think it was a car, and I don't think it was a truck or an airplane, but it was a train. That is our next exercise on page 21. You can see that we have our train here that is made up of shapes. Now remember, a train travels on a rail and not on a road. That's why the bottom is not a road. You can see that the circles are like the wheels of a train. You can see that it has its chimney and all sorts of shapes to help us say that this is a train. Can you make the sound of a train? Choo-choo-choo-choo. What I'd like you to do, my dear children, is you are going to color in this special train. Every town has a railroad going through it where a train can stop to pick up people or things. So this is our special train for the town that we are in. Next time that you're in town, I want you to take a look and try and look for the train tracks that you saw in the picture before you saw the train. And remember to tell whoever you're with that that is where the train moves on. You are allowed to use any colors you'd like for the train. I want it to be beautiful. And remember, when we're coloring inside the picture. Have fun, my dear train people. Let's now take a look at our next exercise. This one is blank because on page 22, you are going to draw a police car. Now, in towns, we always see different types of cars. One car that you're going to see when you're in town is a police car. I have an example here for you. Now, this one may not be the one that you see in town, but at least it can show you that this is a police car. It has the word police on it, and you can see that it has its siren on top. And what sound do police cars make? Can you make that sound for me, please? Yes, my children, that is the sound that a police car makes. So I did not draw a car. I want you to be very creative. I want you to take your pencil and you're going to draw your police car nicely. After drawing the police car, I want you to color that same police car. Remember, the whole page is blank so that you can draw your police car. Don't give me a little police car. Give me a big police car, please. And this is now the end of our lesson today. I have enjoyed all of our lessons this week, my children, and I hope that you have too. Remember, after every single lesson, we need to sanitize our hands. Not only when we're doing schoolwork, but anytime we touch something that we're not sure where it's been, it's safer for you to sanitize your hands. And make sure that your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Also, I'd like you to check your social distancing beside you and in front of you. Well done. Before we go, I think it's time that my friend or our friend joins us today. Hello, Zoe. So, from Zoe and I, we would like to say goodbye.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
beautiful souls. This is Nikita Winkler, and I am here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take the time in each position that your body needs to release its tension. In this session, we will stretch the hips. What you'll need are yoga blocks or books, thick books, or pillows, especially if you have tight hips. You can do this on a mat, on the floor, on a blanket, or even in your bed. Let's get started. So we're going to start on the floor with the soles of our feet together. I'm going to grab around the feet. This is a butterfly position. So in order to warm up the hips, I'm just going to flap the butterfly wings. And again, take your time. I'm going to lean forward, and here, again, if the hips are too tight, you can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath. You might even feel a stretch in the back here. From this position, I'm going to take one arm right behind me, not too far from my body. The other arm, inhale, exhale, press the hip open. And come back to center. Change. One arm right behind me to lengthen the spine, the other hand on the knee. Inhale, exhale, press the hip open and back to center. Now we're going to lie down on the floor. And first, before I get started, I have to make sure that my body, my spine is in alignment. I'm going to just open up the neck area. And you can spend as much time as you need here, allowing the force of gravity to weigh on the legs to open up the hips. You can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath the knees. And gradually, you can take the feet even further down and spend enough time in each position. From here, we're going to go into an internal hip rotation. I'm going to spread my feet to the side, lean the knees inwards. If you have a little bit more flexibility, you don't really feel the stretch, just take your feet even further apart to deepen this internal rotation stretch in your hips. From here, I'm just going to place my feet, and without repositioning the feet, I'm going to take my arms to the side, and then I'm just going to rock my legs side to side, keeping the upper body facing up, shoulders down. And then I'm going to stop on one side, take the lower leg over the upper to add weight to deepen the stretch. Release the leg and switch. Other side, lower over the upper. And back to center. Last part, I'm going to spread my legs as wide open as I can, and I'm going to just row the boat. So what's important here is that the knees don't lift off the floor. Make sure you row both sides. Keep the knees and both bum cheeks on the floor. Alternatively, you can just lean forward. You can hang out on the pillow. Take your time on the blocks or on your books. And that is it. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to breathe into your stretches, and happy stretching.